Well, I'd like to find out if you're interested in perhaps selling the property. We have buyers right now that are looking in that particular area. Hey everybody, this is Sid Hamid. I'm going to be making some cold calls. We're going to be calling on some of these leads that we have in the area to find out where is the motivation. So I'm looking for the motivation. So I'm going to call like 40, 50 phone calls. You know, the key in today's market, I mean, the market is going down. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of people just not sure on what's going to happen in May, June, July, August, September, so we know that the banks have tightened up their guidelines. We know that the banks have, increased their criteria in terms of who they're going to lend to and how they're going to lend and how much. So the rules are changing. The guidelines are changing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make some phone calls during this coronavirus. People are at home. People are still wanting to sell. And, let's make some phone calls and let's try to figure out the level of motivation that people have, right? So there's going to be some customers that don't have to sell. They do not have to sell in today's market. They can sit on their properties. They have no urgency. They're not really going anywhere. So they can just sit on their properties. But there are other people that have to sell for whatever reason. It could be, job relocation. They're moving to another state. It could be the fact it's their second home or their third home. They have to sell. The property's vacant and there's no tenant in there. It could be the fact they just lost their job and they're just trying to downsize and get whatever equity that they have built up into their current property and get that money out and go downsize and start to simplify life. So what we're going to do today is we're going to call, we're going to talk to people, and we're going to ask some key questions and find out where people's motivations are. And I hope you guys could, learn from this, use these tactics and use some of these open-ended questions in your own day-to-day operation as you guys are out there making calls and trying to get a wholesale deal, trying to get a fix or flip, trying to get a subject to a lease option, whatever, right? The deals are out there, but the thing is, you're only going to know this is when you start making phone calls. So the first guy we're going to call is this guy here, Mr. Okay, so we're going to call him. I'm dialing the number. I'm going to put him on the speakerphone.
The number you dialed is not in service.
Okay, so that's going to happen. All right, let's just keep dialing. Go to the next number. Got a voice message. Hello, hey, my name is Sid Hamid. I'm with Samsung Properties. I was calling you about your property here in. When you get a moment, if you could call me back at 703-855-3324. That's 703-855-3324. I'm with Samsung Properties. My name is Sid. Last name is Hamid. Give me a call when you can. Thank you. Okay, so you want to speak slow, speak clearly so they can call you back and they understand your message. And you want to try to repeat your phone number at least twice. Okay, so we're going to call the next guy. All right, we're going to get a yes. We're going to get somebody to say hello. Hello. I want to sell. I need to sell. I have to sell right now. It's just as a salesperson, I've been a sales all my life. You got to learn how to sell.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Hey, is this?
Who is this?
This is Sid Hamid. I'm calling you about your property. Oh, so now you gotta hang up. That's okay. It's a numbers game. Go to the next guy. So that movie is called Pursuit to Happiness. I don't know if you guys ever watched Pursuit to Happiness with Will Smith. And you notice the technique that he used in the Pursuit to Happiness. He never hung up the phone. He just kept dialing, right? If they said no, he just kept dialing. So again,
Try again later.
we got a bad number. You stop. You don't hang up the phone. You just keep dialing. Okay. The goal is to get your numbers up. Okay. Get your numbers up. If you make 100 calls, 200 calls, 300 calls, you should have a 2 to 3% ratio. But you got to be consistent. You got to be disciplined, and you got to be determined.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Hey, my name is Sid Hamid. Is this
Who's calling?
Sid, S-I-D, Sid Hamid? I'm a realtor, and I was calling about your property.
Uh-huh.
Are you still perhaps interested in selling that property? So is that your rental property? The-
What now? Yeah.
Is that
I got that part. I know what that property is.
is it rented? Is it occupied? Is it vacant?
Why do you need to know that?
Well, I'd like to find out if you're interested in perhaps selling the property. We have buyers right now that are looking in that particular area.
I just said I'm.
No, that's fine. I get that you're in, but the property is in. My question is, are you interested in perhaps maybe considering selling that property?
I am not. I am physically in. I'm hardly going to drive back to show you the property.
No. You don't have to. You don't have to drive here. Everything in today's economy, we have so much data on the internet. There's so much information. You don't need to drive back.
I know. That's where you get all of this.
Right. But my question is,
perhaps might be interested in several months.
so you may be interested in a few months to sell. So
Exactly.
at the moment, it's currently occupied. And should I follow up with you?
I'm not telling you whether it's occupied or not. That is not a safe thing to tell somebody that I'm just talking to on the phone.
Sure. No, that's fine. That's understandable. But
Honestly.
no, that's fine. I mean, I grew up. I actually grew up 5 minutes from the house. I went to.
Yeah, well, I worked for HUD for 25 years. So.
Oh no, that's great. But again, we're realtors, and we're calling to see.
Next time you call somebody, you say, I am Sid so-and-so with X so-and-so real estate. That's
No.
the proper way.
Well, I did that, but maybe you didn't pick up on that.
No, I guess I didn't.
But it's okay. So you do have a property, and you may be looking to sell in about 30 to 90 days, possibly.
It's possible. No, not 30 days.
Okay. So should I try you again, ring you back?
You can try me again, but I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay, so I'll call you in about 45 days. How does that sound?
Stop talking a minute. I sold the property in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it was 2018. For 1031. It's changed. Um, so I'm pretty familiar with the real estate, having worked at HUD in the
Sure.
enforcement area.
Sure.
I pay the real estate agent goes front and back about, let's see, about 3.5% commission. Okay.
Okay.
So don't call me back if you think I'm going to pay somebody 6%, because that's not happening.
No, I agree. I mean, 6% is
You put those properties on the market there. I sold in last February, and it sold in a week, so across the street. So I know how it goes. But the property, because I have not lived in it in a while, or just back and forth, it's kind of it's not in sale condition.
well, and I get that. I mean, I've been doing this for a very long time. We have investors that will buy as is. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to move anything out. Long as it's a fair price between what you're asking for, what the buyer is willing to buy it for. We do this all the time. Like I said, I grew up, so I'm very familiar with, and I know they go fast.
Mm-hmm.
I know they go fast.
I had one company that contacted me, and they said like 450,000, and I said no.
Okay, so they offer. So you had somebody offer you 450, and you said no.
Right.
Okay, what in your mind, what number would satisfy you?
I would have to think about it, because I'd have to look at what the market is if I just decide.
That makes sense. Well, I tell you what, if you give me your email, and then what I could do is I could send you the market trends in terms of what's happening in that area. Would you be open to that?
It's around 600 to 625, I would say, depending on the condition.
And how much repairs do you think the property requires?
I would say it just depends. I would probably redo the kitchen. I don't know if I would move any kind of structural or not.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I would say somewhere between 30 to 40,000, maybe.
Okay.
Depending on whether the HVAC. I mean, the furnace is new. I don't know. If I could give a warranty on the furnace. It's about 10 years old.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about your MPEs, right? Your mechanical, your plumbing, your electrical, your windows, your roof. These are the major items.
The windows have all been replaced.
So all the windows are new. And then, how old is the roof?
It's new.
Okay.
It is a condo, so that doesn't matter.
Sure. And does this have a parking space? I know some of them they have like a reserved parking space. Does this have a parking?
They have like they don't have a police unit, but they guarantee one reserved parking space per unit.
So it does have one reserved.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. Are they the HOA dues? I know it has a pool and tennis courts and stuff like that. The HOA dues are what per month?
$460, I think.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I
All
can.
that stuff is automatically paid. So.
Gotcha. Well, Miss, I could get a lot of this information off the computer. If you provide me your email, I can send you a current market analysis.
Market analysis. Yeah.
Would that be helpful to you?
You can do that. I'll tell you, the last people I did was Katie Parker, who sells a lot in that area.
Well, I mean, like you indicated, the property will sell itself. The area and the location will sell itself. I mean, you know this. You've been working with HUD for many years. But what happens is, like, I'm a contractor. I've been doing construction for a long time, been a home inspector for many years. So we have access to a lot of buyers. And we know is one of those hot areas. Because so close to and everything like that. And you know, there's a lot of things in Arlington that you know that weren't there in the 70s and 60s when I grew up, but it's really become, you know, something very expensive today. I would love to continue to talk with you. Let me get your email so I can send you some data, and then what I'll do,
Okay.
I'll ring you back in a few days, 3 or 4 weeks, and check on you, and then we can have another conversation. How's that sound?
Well, I'm not gonna make any decisions in 3 weeks. I'll
Okay.
tell you that off the hand. I'm down here selling my mother's estate.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and plus, you know, I'm supposed to travel back and forth. So
That's right. That's right.
I'm
Okay.
just waiting on my beach place to open up down here.
Oh, I hear you. Hey, so
Open the beach when they open the and I'm contact with people.
I got you. What's your email again? I'm sorry. What's your email? All right. Well, cool. Hey, just a side note. Just a side note. Again, I've been in real estate for many years. Um, do you still work or have you retired?
I retired from.
Okay. Now with this whole foreclosure,
That's why I'm not not very good to. It's federal employees.
that's true.
There are other states don't tax your
Got you.
government pension. So I probably would never be anyway, I'm now a resident. My residency is,
Okay.
you know.
Got you.
So that's why I don't go back up there that option.
Okay.
But I eventually will sell that property.
Well, okay. Let me do. I'm gonna send you an email. So I have your email address here, and then what I'm gonna do is it okay to maybe, like I said, we do have investors and buyers. So maybe after I chat with you later on, I could mention to a few people that this property may be available for sale. Is that okay? I could perhaps softly try to present it to some of the buyers and stuff.
I don't think you should do that right away. First,
Okay.
I have to decide too whether I think it's worth going with that type of sale.
Gotcha.
When I sold the other property a couple of years ago, I didn't think it was, worth it.
Well, let me ask you this: would you be open to any type of seller financing or like lease option or subject to anything like that, or would you want to just sell it outright?
I would think I would want to sell it outright. I don't want to fool with
Okay. Okay. Very good.
having somebody in another state do that
Got you. Got you. Okay.
type of thing.
Okay. Well, do you have
Any
any?
horror stories there?
And do you have any questions for me?
No, you can send me the market analysis. Now, you're saying that you did construction also. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. So just to give you a little bit of background, my family and I came into Arlington, Virginia back in the 60s from a place called Kashmir. So we went. We didn't have a green card, so we started working construction at a young age. So I've been in construction for a very long time. I have electricians, plumbers, roofers, and if you could Google my name, we have videos. We buy and
So
flip
you're
properties.
from India originally?
From Kashmir, which
Kashmir.
yeah, and so I know Arlington extremely well. We've done a lot of transactions there. So again, with you, you wouldn't have to fix anything. We have people that will take it as is. We may buy it ourselves if the deal makes sense, but we have plenty of guys to do the work and renovation and stuff like that. And we know the value of South Walter Reed. We understand that area. So we get it. We understand it.
Yeah, I don't think because of the government, it's so heavily government, I don't think it will necessarily be a very bad pullback in the market there.
No, I mean it's got the bike trails. There's just so much activity. It's so close to
Yeah,
DC.
it's right on the bike trail.
Yeah, and even with church,
It's not, it doesn't back to the woods there. It kind of like backs out to the parking yeah, I don't know if somebody would find that desirable or not. I like it because it's totally safe. Because some of those places on the bike trail have been someone tried to break into.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
because there's people that hang out on that park. They call it an M13. An M13 gang member.
Okay, but I have to make a few other phone calls. I'm gonna send you an email, but let me ask you the last question before I get off the phone. Are you the only one on the deed? Would you be the only one decision maker, or there's somebody else that will be involved in terms of making the decision?
Why do you need to know that?
Well, no. So if we do decide to move forward and you decide to sell, then if you have your husband or somebody else, then we want to make sure when we do our listing presentation and our contract, we write both people's names.
You're way too far ahead of the game. I don't even know who you are. So.
No, don't worry about it. We could get that off
I'm
the.
not giving information about the title of my property to some complete stranger.
No, that's fine. We can find it on the tax records. But hey, I tell you what, thank you so much for your time. I hope things work out with your mom. And just be safe in this environment. And then what I'll do is I'll send you an email. Once you get it, if you could just please acknowledge, and then I'll call you back in about 4 or 5 weeks and just check on you, and then see what would you like to do in the future.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right.
it. All right. Thank you. Take care. Okay. There you go. Got one. The key is when you guys get the customer on the phone is, she was talkative. You have to listen to what the customer is saying, when they answer their phone. Are they in a hurry? Are they angry? Are they mad? Are they talkative? Are they relaxed? So you have to listen to their mindset, their behavior when you first connect with them. And then when you do connect with them and you can feel them out, okay, they're trying to feel you out just like you're trying to feel them out. So once you get that frequency, the energy, and once it's connected, then you can start to slide in your questions and try to get as much data as possible. So when you do put your information packet together, you can try to make it as much personable as possible to the homeowner. So hey, look, this is Sid Hamid with Brickfront Properties and Construction. I am a realtor with Samsung Properties here. Been in the industry for a very long time. I've been a home builder, inspector for 25 years. We teach and educate our team. I have a team of people on my team. We make phone calls, we skip trace, we do list stacking, we do data mining. We try to pull the data from very targeted ways of finding these particular homeowners, especially if they're absentee owners and the property is either vacant, or if it's a landlord scenario or situation where the tenant has moved out. So I hope you guys got some value from this video. Giving me some thumbs up, some likes. If you like the information, share the video, share the information, hit the bell. We'll be making more videos such as this, taking advantage of the fact that people are home. We're home. You might as well make the phone calls and build up your pipeline. This is the time to build up your pipeline as we get through, April, May, June, and we don't know how long this is going to last. But this is a time to build up your relationships. We are in a relationship economy. Build the trust with your homeowners, and make some money at the back end. So build a pipeline, make some money. I hope you guys got some value here. We'll talk later. Stay tuned. We'll make more videos such as this going forward. Take care, everybody. All right. Thank you.